Hey team, Brandon here. We're back again for part 3 of our 3-part workout series. There's only one muscle group left. You guys know what it is. Spoiler alert, it's legs. Let's get started. Our first exercise series is going to start with clamshells. So for that, we're going to lay down sort of like a side plank on our mat. We're going to have a nice bend at the knees. Going up into that side plank, what we're going to do is just pivot this knee straight up in the air, keeping our feet together, bringing that back down. We're going for 15 reps on each side here. There's going to be no rest in between sets because we're going right into single leg bridges after that. But we want to start with something that's an abductor, which we're using here because a lot of the times those don't get used. So those muscles get tight and can lead to back pain. We're pretty much starting this workout priming the abductors so that our quads, our glutes, and everything are ready to fire. After those clamshells, we're going to go into the single leg bridge. So keeping our feet tucked nice and close, hands down at the sides. We're going to lift one leg straight up in the air. We're going to press through the heel that's still on the ground, lifting our body and our hips straight up into the air. What we want to eliminate here is swinging this leg that's up like this, because then we're just using momentum and not getting the good driving force through the heel and actually activating the glutes. So with those, we're going to go 2 sets of 12 to 15 reps on each side. After we complete each set of the single leg bridge, we're going to rest about 45 to 60 seconds. And that's it for the first superset. Our abductors are primed now. Our lower body is ready to go. So we're going to get started with elevator squats or pulse squats. To start, we're going wide stance here, a little bit wider than the hips so we can really get down low. What we're doing here, we're going down into a full squat, kind of pulsing up about 10-15% of that movement, going back down and then coming up like this. Purpose of this, we're taking the elasticity out of the muscle, so we actually have to create a lot more force to bring our body back up after doing that little pulse. You're going to feel these once we hit that 15 to 20 rep target. And again, no rest after this because we're supersetting this with reverse sprinter lunges. So for these, you might want somewhere a little slick that's not going to skid out from underneath you like a mat would. We're going to go down like we're starting a sprint, and then all in one motion, we're going to jump up, switch legs, and come back down. Like that. So the purpose of this, building up that plyometric power, the lower body power, getting that nice jump with the movement, but also working the quads each time we're pressing through that front foot. We're going to go about 5 to 6 reps here, and then a little bit longer rest. After we complete these, we're going to go for about 60 to 90 seconds of rest. Our third superset is going to start with curtsy lunges. With this one, we're working in a different plane of motion. What we're going to do is pick one leg to start out front, similar to a reverse lunge, except that foot that's going back is also going to come out and clear that front leg. So we're going back like that, dropping, and then switching, making sure we're getting each side nice and deep into a squat. What we're looking for here is as that back foot comes out, it wants to take our center of gravity out with it, but we want to make sure we're keeping that knee over the heel as we drop down. So you kind of have to apply some active force into that knee to keep it over the heel, but that's just going to take a lot of the tension off the knee and lead to better joint stabilization and less chance of injury down the road. We're going to go for about 2 rounds, 8 to 10, each side on those, and then we're going to drop down to the ground and do something a little more dynamic here. So for this one, you're going to need a slick floor. If you have sliders, paper plates, Tupperware lids, you can put those under your feet if you're doing this on carpet. We're going to lay straight back down. Similar to our starting position with those bridges, what we're going to do this time is actually bridge up, and then we're going to extend both feet out, staying up on the heels, and then pulling the heels straight back in. What this is going to do is activate our hamstrings. We're going to feel a really good contraction here. If it's tough for you to do both legs at the same time, just keep that bridge up, do one leg, but try and keep the tension and that force through that heel as you're pulling back, so you really get a good contraction in the hamstring. For these, we're going to go 2 sets, 10 to 12 reps, each leg if you're doing it single, or 12 to 15 reps on both legs if you're doing them at the same time. Upon completion of our hamstring curls here, we're going to give ourselves about 45-60 seconds of rest. To finish this workout out, we're going to start with a drop lunge. Again, needing a slick surface under our feet, that's why the shoes are off. We're going to pick one side to start with, and what we're going to do, feet close together right under the hips. We're going to start by just dropping down onto one foot, extending that opposite foot straight out, pressing back up. And while we do this, we want to actually keep tension in that foot that's sliding out and press down through the foot as we come up to make sure we're working the adductors, the insides of our thigh. We're going to go for about 2 sets, 6 to 8 reps on each leg. Again, no rest in between. We're going to superset this with a single leg calf raise. The purpose of this one, we have some books down here. We're going to do a deficit. So what that means is instead of doing a calf raise where we're on flat ground and we stop when our ankle's at about 90 degrees, we can actually get a little bit deeper of a contraction here, a little bit deeper of a stretch, giving us more activation of the calf with each rep. So grab something to hold on to. We're going to keep the pressure through the toes, going up and all the way back down until the heel taps the ground. With these, we're going to go, again, 2 sets here. We're going 15 to 20 reps on each leg. Once we're done with those, we're going to do about 30 to 45 seconds of rest. That's it for leg day, guys. We worked in a bunch of different planes of motion today, kind of hit all the muscles of the lower body, and switched up the rep schemes again, so we got a little bit of strength, a little bit of power, a little bit of hypertrophy, a little bit of endurance. If you have any questions about the movements, feel free to get in touch with me. But other than that, good luck with this one, good luck with the 3-day split, and let me know what you guys think.